Hi, it's Sue. Thanks for joining me for today's Bible reading for July 21st. Today I'm reading Proverbs 24 to 26 from the World English Bible. Verse 1. Don't be envious of evil men, neither desire to be with them, for their hearts plot violence, and their lips talk about mischief. Through wisdom a house is built, by understanding it is established. By knowledge the rooms are filled with all rare and beautiful treasure. A wise man has great power, and a knowledgeable man increases strength. For by wise guidance you wage a war, and victory is in many advisers. Wisdom is too high for a fool. He doesn't open his mouth in the gate. One who plots to do evil will be called a schemer. The schemes of folly are sin. The mocker is detested by men. If you falter in the time of trouble, your strength is small. Rescue those who are being led away to death. Indeed, hold back those who are staggering to the slaughter. If you say, "Behold, we didn't know this," doesn't he who weighs the heart consider it? He who keeps your soul, doesn't he know it? Shall he not render to every man according to his work? My son, eat honey, for it's good, the droppings of the honeycomb, which are sweet to your taste. So you shall know wisdom to be to your soul. If you have found it, then there will be a reward. Your hope will not be cut off. Don't lay in wait for wicked men against the habitation of the righteous. Don't destroy his resting place, for a righteous man falls 7 times and gets up again. But the wicked are overthrown by calamity. Don't rejoice when your enemy fails or falls. Don't let your heart be glad when he's overthrown, lest Yahweh see it and it displease him, and he turn away his wrath from him. Don't fret yourself because of evildoers, neither be envious of the wicked. For there will be no reward for the evil man. The lamp of the wicked will be snuffed out. My son, fear Yahweh and the king. Don't join those who are rebellious, for their calamity will rise suddenly. Who knows what destruction may come from them both? These also are the sayings of the wise. To show partiality in judgment is not good. He who says to the wicked, "Your righteous peoples will curse him, and nations will abhor him," but it will go well with those who convict the guilty, and a rich blessing will come on them. An honest answer is like a kiss on the lips. Let me go back to that. I love the verses that are about justice and the scales of justice, and balanced weights and measures, fair treatment, fair trade. And listen to this one again. It says, "He who It says, it will go well for those who convict the guilty, and a rich blessing will come on them." A judge who rightly judges in their position. We need more of that here in the U.S. Verse 26, an honest answer is like a kiss on the lips. Prepare your work outside and get your fields ready. Afterwards, build your house. Don't be, sorry, I lost my place. Verse 28, don't be a witness against your neighbor without cause. Don't deceive with your lips. Don't say, "I will do to him as he has done to me. I will repay the man according to his work." I went by the field of the sluggard, by the vineyard of the man void of understanding. Behold, it was all grown over with thorns. Its surface was covered with nettles, and its stone wall was broken down. Then I saw and considered well. I saw and received instruction. A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest. So your poverty will come as a robber, and your want as an armed man. Proverb 25. These also are the Proverbs of Solomon, which the men of Hezekiah, king of Judah, copied out. It is the glory of God to conceal a thing, but the glory of kings is to search out a matter. As the heavens for height and the earth for depth, so the heart of the king are unsearchable. Hearts of kings are unsearchable. Take away the dross from the silver, and material comes out for the refiner. Take away the wicked from the king's presence, and his throne will be established in righteousness. Don't exalt yourself in the presence of the king, or claim a place among great men. It is better that it be said to you, "Come up here," than that you should be put lower in the presence of the prince whom your eyes have seen. Don't be hasty in bringing charges to court. What will you do in the end when your neighbor shames you? Debate your case with your neighbor, and don't betray the confidence of another, lest one who hears it put you to shame and your bad reputation never depart. A word fitly spoken is like apples of gold in settings of silver. As an earring of gold and an ornament of fine gold, so is a wise reprover to an obedient ear. As the cold of snow in the time of harvest, so is a faithful messenger to those who send him, for he refreshes the soul of his masters. I love the simile and metaphors in the Bible. I'm just going to read this couple again. A word fitly spoken is like apples of gold in settings of silver. As an earring of gold and an ornament of fine gold is a wise reprover to an obedient ear. As the cold of snow in the time of harvest, so is a faithful messenger to them who send him, for he refreshes the soul of his masters. As clouds and wind without rain, so is he who boasts of gifts deceptively. By patience a ruler is persuaded. A soft tongue breaks the bone. Have you found honey? Eat as much as is sufficient for you, lest you eat too much and vomit it. Let your foot be seldom in your neighbor's house, lest he be weary of you and hate you. A man who gives false testimony against his neighbor is like a club, a sword, or a sharp arrow. Confidence in someone unfaithful in the time of trouble is like a bad tooth or a lame foot. Or I like to think of it as leaning on a broken cane. Let me read that again. Confidence in someone unfaithful in a time of trouble is like a bad tooth or a lame foot. As one who takes away a garment in cold weather or vinegar on soda, so is one who sings songs to a heavy heart. If your enemy is hungry, give him food to eat. If he is thirsty, give him water to drink. For you will heap coals of fire on his head, and Yahweh will reward you. The north wind produces rain, so a backbiting tongue brings an angry face. It is better to dwell in the corner of a housetop than to share a house with a contentious woman. Like cold water to a thirsty soul, so is good news from a far country. I was pausing to think about this verse 24 that I just read. It's better to dwell in the corner of a housetop than to share a house with a contentious woman. Now, these aren't commandments, and they're not necessarily instructions. They're wise principles, right? But I would say this one definitely should go in the conversation about divorce. There's been a lot of discourse, debate, and disagreement about divorce in the church over the years, and even condemnation of people who were divorced. And I don't think that's acceptable way. I don't think that's a proper biblical viewpoint, because even God granted Israel divorce. I'll just give you a little brief. Moses granted divorces based on hardness of heart, Jesus said. And so, and here, basically it says it's better to live on the housetop than with a contentious woman. So, some relationships are just extremely difficult and more destructive. Obviously, you think of physical abuse, emotional, mental abuse, and neglect. And so some relationships are just harder and more destructive to stay together than to be apart. It's my opinion. So there's some food for thought. So that verse 24 could definitely fit into that debate. 25. Like cold water to a thirsty soul is good news from a far country. Like a muddied spring and a polluted well, so is a righteous man who gives way before the wicked. It is not good to eat much honey, nor is it honorable to seek one's own honor. Like a city that is broken down and without walls is a man whose spirit is without restraint. Proverb 26. Like snow in summer and as rain in harvest, so honor is not fitting for a fool. Like a fluttering sparrow, like a darting swallow, so the undeserved curse does not come to rest. That's a big one. The undeserved curse doesn't come to rest. The other version says it, a curse causeless does not come. A curse causeless does not come. In other words, the inverse of that. If a curse comes, there's a reason, there's a source, there's a cause. So it's good to investigate, find out what's going on. So again, that was verse 2. Like a fluttering sparrow, like a darting swallow, so the undeserved curse doesn't come to rest. A whip is for the horse, a bridle for the donkey, and a rod for the back of fools. Don't answer a fool according to his folly, lest you also be like him. Answer a fool according to his folly, lest he be wise in his own eyes. One who sends a message by the hand of a fool is cutting off feet and drinking violence. Like the legs of the lame that hang loose, so is a parable in the mouth of fools. As one who binds a stone in a sling, so is he who gives honor to a fool. Like a thorn bush that goes into the hand of a drunkard, so is a parable in the mouth of fools. As an archer who wounds all, so is he who hires a fool, or he who hires those who pass by. As a dog that returns to his vomit, so is a fool who repeats his folly. Do you see a man wise in his own eyes? There's more hope for a fool than for him. The sluggard says there is a lion in the road. A fierce lion roams the streets. In other words, they make excuses. 14. As the door turns on its hinges, so does the sluggard on his bed. The sluggard buries his hand in the dish. He's too lazy to bring it back to his mouth. The sluggard is wiser in his own eyes than 7 men who answer with discretion. Like one who grabs a dog's ears is one who passes by and meddles in a quarrel not his own. You see that on the internet every day now. Like a madman who shoots torches, arrows, and death is the man who deceives his neighbor and says, "Am I not joking?" Or I guess it would be like, "I was just kidding." Verse 20, for lack of wood, a fire goes out. Without gossip, a quarrel dies down. As coals are to hot embers and wood to a fire, so is a contentious man to kindling strife. The words of a whisperer are dainty morsels, they go down into the innermost parts. Like silver dross on an earthen vessel are the lips of a fervent one with an evil heart. A malicious man disguises himself with his lips, but he harbors evil in his heart. When his speech is charming, don't people believe him? For there are 7 abominations in his heart. His malice may be concealed by deception, but his wickedness will be exposed in the assembly. Whoever digs a pit shall fall into it. Whoever rolls a stone, it will come back on him. A lying tongue hates those it hurts, and a flattering mouth works ruin. Well, that's it for today's reading. Thanks for joining me. Be sure to comment your thoughts, any favorite Proverbs that you have, or one that means something special to you. I have a lot that means special things to me. They remind me of different times in my life when they applied to my life. So feel free to do that. Make sure to look at the links in the description for those Proverbs little short videos. And also there is an email to get a free 1-year Bible or email prayer requests and other such things. Till next time, God bless you.